This video is sponsored by sellcashier.com. They compare iPhone prices on the internet and give you their instant quote and the most cash for your iPhone. Hey guys, this is Ed with Techvarium. It's a beautiful day outside and we have another package from China with what the sender calls iPhone 11. We all know that at this present time iPhone 11 is being speculated about, including its name, and it has not hit the shelves here in the US or anywhere else in the world, except in China of course. But let's open this package and see for ourselves what yet another generation of improvised iPhones looks like. Alright guys, so this is what we have. It's a box. It's a box that actually does resemble the box that comes with the iPhone XS Max, and it does state here that it's a 256 gigabyte variant. And we're going to open it and kind of see for ourselves what it looks like on the inside. The stickers on the box do not look original, that rather look as a low quality print, but the box looks okay, I would say, if it was damaged during the transport, which again, if you ordered one from the store, it's not going to be damaged because it's very well packaged in the outside packaging. I'm going to use these scissors that I usually use for chicken, and this plastic wrap was very loose on the box, so you wouldn't expect that out of a real iPhone. And we're going to go ahead and open this. It doesn't slide off as easily as it does for real Apple devices, and of course it comes with a standard set of inserts that we're not going to worry about as per usual, but it does come with the SIM removal tool, and it keeps jumping out of my hands, but it's slightly bent, although it is a decent quality otherwise, but we don't really care about that. What we do care about is this fake phone actually comes wrapped in the bubble wrap, and bubble wrap is not something you expect to get from a real Apple iPhone straight out of the box. The Chinese manufacturers have actually improved a little bit this time around, and they actually placed a screen protector that's almost flush with the screen edges, although it's sitting there somewhat sideways. But the thing is that it doesn't have any images or logos on it. So this is for the first time that I'm noticing this, although again it's very low quality. And now let's look in the back, and what we see in the back is kind of what we saw on the web in multiple resources as far as the renders of what the camera module is going to look like. 3 cameras with a flash in the upper right corner. In my opinion, it looks plain ugly, but I'll make a comment on the color, which is the gold color for the previous generation, which is the XS and the XS Max. Looks pretty good. Hoping that it's charged, and so we're going to turn it on and look at the contents of the box in the meantime. And there you go, Apple logo is actually looking pretty good, what you would kind of expect out of a real iPhone. However, we open this and we see what we usually see in these boxes, and for the first time I actually see decently packaged set of headphones, but we're going to open them and probably find out that they're really not great quality. It looks actually pretty flimsy, and when you unwrap it, you really do see low quality cord. That's extremely low quality actually, and upon closer examination you see all these edges, and it's not even and rounded off as you would expect out of a real set of headphones, and so the edges are just looking pretty ugly here. That's that. So we're not gonna expect anything more out of this. And again, your standard accessories such as the charging block and the cord. Now the lightning cord is actually inserted in here sideways. You would never see it inserted like that in a box of a real iPhone, no matter what generation it is. So it's sitting there sideways, and of course it's all fake. So that was the box and the accessories, but this is what the real phone looks like, and that's what you can expect to get from China when you order one, and they're trying to potentially match it to what the real next generation iPhone is going to be. But here's the caveat for those of you who are not so phone savvy in terms of the Apple devices, but this never appears on the screen straight out of the box. This is never on there by default, and that way you know that this is a sign that this is a fake device, shouldn't be there. And that's the menu you would expect to pop out when you utilize that button there. So that's your sign number one again, that this is a fake. But before we get to look at the menus and the IMEI numbers and such, let's just look at the build quality for a second. So this iPhone 11, so-called 11, is definitely a fake, but it's pretty heavy and the build is not that bad. The size is decent. It actually matches what the XS Max looks like, of course the real one by Apple, and the color is extremely close to the gold by Apple. Now the cameras there are a complete improvisation, and it's probably based solely on the renders. So that's purely the rumor. Again, in my opinion, it looks very ugly, but the buttons are arranged pretty evenly and they look decent. Unfortunately, as it always happens on these fake devices, the silencer is very, very loud and noisy, and it's very difficult to change positions on. So this is not something you would expect of the iPhones in any generation, even out of the very original iPhone. SIM card tray is actually not really that flush with the frame. That's again made of aluminum. Slightly different color, however, because it's made of plastic and they just didn't match it right to the frame. The frame, based on the way that it feels and how heavy the phone is, the frame I am pretty sure is made of aluminum, so certainly that adds to the sturdiness of the phone. However, doesn't change much for us, as we know it is a fake iPhone. And for just a minute, let's go ahead and take a look at the settings. And first thing we'll definitely look at is the general and about section of the settings. You can see that this is what this IMEI number yields. This IMEI number does not exist in Apple's database. Also, interestingly enough, in the upper right hand corner, the Wi-Fi, the MAC address, is all zeros except one digit, and this is something that I've never seen before either. Doesn't matter what the device is, doesn't matter what the phone is, doesn't matter whether it's a laptop or a tablet, the MAC address is going to look a lot more unique than just all zeros with, one unique digit. So that's another sign for you to look for to determine that this phone is certainly fake. This is probably the easiest way to figure out that this phone is fake, and I've never seen it in these iPhones that are fake, that there's not an expansion slot for an SD card, at least visually on the outside of the phone, but it actually says that there's a SD card inserted with the volume of 8 gigabytes on there. We certainly know that this is a fake because it is likely that the SD card itself is either installed on the inside of the phone to the main board, or it's simply a partition that was created on the phone. So here's again a really good sign for you that this is not a real iPhone. This is not what you are going to find on an iPhone that comes from Apple. And just to demonstrate the fluidity of the interface, these phones have gotten a lot better than they were about 3 or 4 years ago. And this is my daily driver. That's a Pixel 3. Not the best phone in the world, but it does the trick every single day. And so I like it to an extent that I've been using it for exactly a year now. But I'll take a couple of snapshots of it, and just to demonstrate that there's got to be a delay. And once we take the picture, look at how the picture is fixated on the screen of the fake iPhone. That's a 1 second delay in the processing of the photo. When you get into the actual gallery, it's pretty fluid. It moves around pretty well with no delay. But unfortunately, the processor is not powerful enough to accommodate even swipe ups. What you just saw, it's very laggy. And this is to once again demonstrate how swiping up from the bottom of the screen brings up the apps. This is pretty horrible. It does a slight vibration. The haptic feedback is very, very subtle on real iPhones, and this is very, very delayed. So this is exactly not how real iPhones work. Look at that. So this is another great sign that this device is fake. We don't really know what it's going to look like for sure. There have been a lot of renders, but this recess in the upper edge of the screen, rumors set aside, we don't know if it's going to be there, but Chinese manufacturers have assumed that it's going to be there. It's exactly what it looks like on a XS Max. I'm sure there's a subtle difference if we actually compare it side by side with the real XS Max. But at the CES 2019, many Chinese manufacturers actually brought phones with the screens that were left to right and top to bottom, full screen, bezel to bezel, and their cameras were actually embedded in the screen and did not take away from the usable area of the screen. Something that this manufacturer decided not to do, but again, we know that this is fake and we really don't know what the iPhone 11 is going to look like, rumors set aside. Hey guys, there's much more to follow on Techvarium, so This is the beginning of the series about the fake iPhone of the 11th generation, and we think that it might be called iPhone 11, but whatever comes out in September in about a week is just the beginning of the story, and I'm really encouraging you to watch the subsequent videos, subscribe to the channel, and certainly like that button down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next review very soon. I wanted to tell you about sellcashier.com. So you just got your new iPhone. What will you do with your old one? You may be thinking of selling it on eBay, Craigslist, and so on, and it is definitely a hassle. Now you don't have to do that. Now you can sell it through sellcashier.com. They compare the actual prices of iPhones and give you the best price for your iPhone that you are trying to sell. And the good thing is that you are guaranteed the best rate. You also get a free shipping label. Thank you for watching, and please check out sellcashier.com.